Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome guys. Today I'm going to be making an argument against the idea of secondary power. You know, I've been defending the idea of occasionalism. Now we give all power back to God, 100% power. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, literally. That only God has power to cause anything to exist, or to cause anything to happen, any movement, any motion, anything that you see in the entire universe. The creation of God, they are 100% under the will of God. Now, there's now this notion of secondary causation or secondary power, that God gave us power somehow, and then we can use that power to do things also, and things like that. And with that, if you want to be consistent on the occasionalist view, no, this sort of thing, you cannot have it. You have to give 100% power to God, such that we, as creation, we have no power. Okay? We are utterly dependent on God. Now, what is my argument? My argument is simply this. That secondary power that you speak of, and by the way, you find it funny, there are Muslims that hold this view, okay? I think even Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, I've seen someone defending this kind of idea of secondary power, and even I think Thomas Aquinas, or even, I'm not sure, but there are some views from theologians that actually want to hold on to the secondary power for some reasons that I will get into in another video, which is related to like nature of things and hikmah and things like that. But me, I want to show that, okay, that power that you speak of, that secondary power that you speak of, is there any condition on it? That's my argument. Is there any condition on it? If there's condition on that power, it cannot be called power anymore, in my own opinion. Because if, for instance, God gave you the power to walk, but that power, before you can walk, God needs to give permission. Do you understand? Such that God gave you that power, yes, so you have power to walk, and you want to take a next step, and then it's impossible. You couldn't walk anymore. You have the power, but it's not working. If your power doesn't work, how can that be power? Because there's an extra condition on it. So that condition will be what is the real power there. So if, for instance, you want to take your next step and God says no, how can you tell me you have power then? You have power and your power is not working. And the Ash'arites, they make like clever arguments against this kind of notion of over-determination, that it is either God or it is you. If it is you, it cannot be God, and if it is God, it cannot be you. So who is going to go here? We simply say creation doesn't have power, because if everything is under the will of God, you cannot speak of any secondary power coherently anymore, because at every moment in there, it is God allowing those things to happen. In another video, I'll show you why even our notion of power, it might be misconceived, you know. Maybe we don't really know what we're talking about when we talk about power, because I think power is just about displacing bodies. Like, how far can you kick a ball? Let's say I kick a ball 1 meter and I kick a ball 200 meters. Okay? It'd be like you use more power when you kicked it in 200 meters. But you see, our notion of power is related to like moving things, you know. But me, in another video, I'll show you why this is wrong. But my main idea in this video, my main target, is to show that any sort of secondary power that you speak of, as long as you agree with the conditional of the will of God being what allows it to function, you cannot be properly called power anymore. It's superfluous to be talking about power, you having power, when at the end of the day it's still will of God. And if you want to stop God from influencing that, that is where you are now putting limits on God's power. You see, you're putting limits on God's power for things that just because you want to have power. So what are you really doing? Anyway, I just thought like this one argument you could use to show that there is no secondary power. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Assalamu alaikum.